7:27 in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Panacool.com is a series of websites covering the SEA syllabus as well as Form 1 and 2 mathematics. They've also embarked on a journey to offer 2001 Form 1 scholarships for the website with the help of Flo and Mario's Pizzeria. Well, here to tell us more is business developer John Devaux and head programmer Phaessuh Kromah. Very good morning to you, gentlemen. Good to have you on this program. The very obvious question, more than the techniques and whatever else is on offer, who came up with Panacool.com?
Well, actually, Phaessuh is the one who came up with the name.
Why? Why Phaessuh? Why Panacool?
Okay, so at that time, my son was about to write the SEA, and as the case with most boys, he was not doing quite well, and he did not really like reading books. But he loved the Xbox, he loved the computer. So it just seemed obvious, and with my background in programming, it seemed obvious that I'd put the work on the computer and allow him to work off of that medium.
But why the name Panacool? What resulted in that?
Well, I don't think anybody has a bad memory of Panacool. Everybody loves Panacools. Everybody knows Panacools, from your great-great-great-grandmother right up to your little child right now.
Unfortunately, little children are the same with a penny. That's been the problem.
It's no longer a penny.
But let's talk about the actual website now, and what is on what it offers. What are these websites about?
The website, we started with the SEA, as Phaessuh has explained, and we have had the SEA website up now for about 3 or 4 years. We have kids from practically every single primary school in Trinidad and Tobago on the website doing work on Panacool.com. We have just introduced in the last 6 months a Form 1 and a Form 2 math websites. And of course, in time, we're actually going to be working, we want to start now working on CXC and so on. So we'll be able to offer an entire range of online websites covering, in the first instance, math and of course SEA at that level.
What is the idea behind it, Phaessuh? You mentioned your son and the different challenges and so on. Does this replace the normal school time syllabus, contact hours with teacher and so on, or what is it intended to do?
Okay, it does not it does not replace a teacher. It cannot replace a teacher. But one of the challenges I face as a parent, and I guess most parents, would be when you use the standard practice tests, right? You do not know immediately how the child has progressed, right? What the computer allows is self-correcting and immediate feedback, which, okay, when you look at it, if a child is dealing with a particular area in decimals per se, right? That ability to get an immediate feedback, whether they're wrong or right. And what we've done, for instance, is put worked examples and tutorials that they can deal with that concept, that particular concept at the particular time, and work on it over and over and over until they get it right.
Have you worked with educators, those in the education system, in constructing the website and how it is, how the problems and the different challenges are formed?
Certainly we have. At the primary school level, we have worked with teachers that have years and years of experience in academics, in SEA. And at the secondary school level, we have worked with leading secondary school math departments. St. Joseph Convent, Port of Spain, for example, has worked with us to develop the Form 1 and Form 2 math websites. In addition to that, we now have, over the years, we now have endorsements from the Ministry of Education. We have also presented our material to Tutor, and for example, they have supported us by giving us advertisements at no charge, actually, in their Tutor magazines. So we've had in addition to what we've done, it's now been endorsed, and very much principals across Trinidad and Tobago in all schools, primary and secondary, are just delighted with what we have done.
Tell us a bit about the scholarships that are now being offered by Panacool.com.
Yeah, the SEA website is free. So anyone can go online, Panacool.com, you go, you register free of charge, you have your own username and password, you get to use the website. At the Form 1 level, we do have an access fee, is a charge of $130 for a year to use the site. Appreciating that not everybody maybe could afford it, and also to just encourage students to go online, we have, with our partners, Flo and Mario's, we have offered to students across Trinidad and Tobago 2,000 Form 1 scholarships. The way we've done it is that we have allocated 12 scholarship codes, because you need the code to register on the Form 1 website. So we've offered 12 codes to every single school through the principals of the schools. And now the principals then have these in, obviously in consultation with their math departments, and they will give them to students. Not necessarily a brightest student, but the student who they judge will make the best use of the facility that's there on the website.
I'm just listening to your explanation of it, and it might sound as if, as you said, it depends on the principal's judgment.
Sure.
You might actually be giving some children in the class an unfair advantage. That might be the view.
Well, if there are kids who, we've told us the principals, if you think that you have other children, additional kids who are interested, you give us a call and good chances are you'll get a scholarship. We want to spread it, we want to encourage usage and so on, so nobody will be disadvantaged.
And just as the whole question of our ability as a nation, as far as proficiency in math and English, we've seen some rather distressing numbers over the years at primary, Form 1, Form 2 levels. And when we talk about mathematics and the logical working out of problems and so on, is that a concern for you from that perspective?
Well, certainly one of the underlying methodology behind Panacool.com is practice, practice, practice. And if you read any good math textbook, you will see that they recommend that once the lessons have been taught, what is key in the understanding of mathematics is the ability to practice and practice. Now, by combining the technology with all the questions that we have online, what we now are able to offer, which has not been able to be offered before, as Phaessuh said, is the immediate correcting. So if you compare that, for example, with doing homework, which you might do today, and you don't even know if it's right or wrong, you send up your book to be corrected, maybe you'll get it tomorrow, maybe you'll get it the next day. Where has your mind gone in between working out that sum and getting it right? So we think we have come up with a revolutionary idea in terms of educating Trinidadian and Tobagonians, and for that matter, the wider Caribbean mathematics.
Phaessuh, as the programmer, are you constantly updating the program? Because I suppose as time goes by, you get better ways of working things out so that kids can go through the system. Is that what is happening?
Right, okay, so one of the advantages of creating this thing in Trinidad, in Diego Martin, is that as we get feedback, which we do get feedback by emails and by our constant communication with the teachers, the principals, the students, we are able to immediately set about working upon any feature that we see that is just obvious that would improve the program. So it is a constant process.
And so is that a challenge for you as a programmer to be constantly, as you said, people will call and say you don't have this right or whatever it is. Does that present a challenge?
It is a challenge, but of course it makes it worth getting up every morning.
I suppose it's very useful to see the benefits of it. You mentioned, John Devaux, about the whole question of practice, practice, practice. Yeah, there's a slight bit of concern there in the sense that we seem to have had an educational system of learning by rote, in the sense that you do the same thing over and over again, you rehearse the practice test inside out in the hope that it comes almost exactly the same. Are we, via this Panacool.com, and teaching children to be able to logically work through problems? Because I got in trouble in Form 3. I copied all the answers from the person on the same desk with me. So basically when the teacher saw it, everything that he got right, I got right, everything that he got wrong, I got wrong, and he realized I was copying, so I got 0. But if I was somebody who had actually thought through the problems and you realize I got it wrong, but even though I was working through it, but I might have still gotten a lot of marks for it, are we encouraging children to think through their problems?
It's a brilliant question, actually. Panacool fits into a certain space within the learning process. You cannot take away from, first of all, the imparting of the concepts and so on. But there comes a time, you take anything, you take tennis, you take cricket, you take reading, for example, you take 3 3s and 9.
Yeah.
And if you had to sort of put 3 blocks together and put another 3 and so on to come up with 9. So Panacool.com offers within the space in which it is now time to practice. Now you go to Panacool.com and you practice and you practice and you practice.
And you're happy with where the website is right now? Is there room? You've gone into Form 1 and Form 2 now. Is there room for more expansion later on?
Certainly, we are going into, as I said, we are working on CXC at the moment. What encourages us a lot is when you look at the website, you see where these kids come from. I mean, you're talking from Charlottesville to Maruga, it's just there. Also, we offer prizes, every week through our sponsors, Mario's and Flavorite. We have ice creams and pizzas. Also monthly Milo, Universal Cereal, Festival Biscuits, First Citizens Bank. And all of these sponsors are coming on board because they understand that what we are doing is something of tremendous value. And so we just see it growing and growing and growing, being used more and more and more, And these scholarships that we are offering now is, again, just a further, the scholarships cost $200,000.
Yeah.
And that has been, as I say, Flo and Marius have partnered with us to support that initiative.
Seems to be a very good exercise indeed. Yeah. So it is something that seems to be growing considerably. So basically at the moment, the SCA segment is available free. Again, we have to hope that the principals make the best judgment in choosing those students to benefit from Form 1. And you said Form 2 is also available as
yes, Form 2 is also available, yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot to, and it's just simply Panacool.com, and you can access everything. So for those who can't spell Panacool, it's PENNACOOL, Panacool. From penny for the cool, the long thing in the plastic. It became 5 cents cool when I was in primary school, and I was in shock when the price went up so high. But it's Panacool.com to get access to what clearly is a very, very useful teaching and learning tool for children in Trinidad and Tobago. Thanks very much, John Devaux and Phaessuh Kromah, for coming in and letting us be aware of all the good work that is being done educationally here in Trinidad and Tobago. 7:38, coming up towards 7:39 in TNT. We've got one more interview segment before we wrap up this morning. We'll be back.